My name is McSweeney, and I'm a senior at Woodcreek High School, and I'm a captain of the soccer team there, and I'm committed to play at the University of Oregon. I play outside back and a little bit outside forward too, and some of my accolades are two-time MVP for the CBC League for high school soccer and three-time All-Conference, and looking to repeat that this year.
First question, why Oregon?
Right when I stepped on campus, it just felt like home to me, and obviously all the facilities are amazing, top notch, and they just got a new coach. His name is Graham, and he's a great coach. He used to coach for the U.S. national team, so I know he's gonna help take the team to the next level and just really make it a great program.
Who are some of the idols you look up to in the soccer world?
My favorite player is Lionel Messi, just because he's so creative on the ball, and he's a super hard worker and really just plays in his own style, doesn't really go with the flow. And I really like how he moves the ball and his really good foot skills, and I try to play like him too.
Nice. What is the one thing you try to take out of every game you play?
I just try to find a way to get better every game, even if it's just a small aspect of my game. I try to really focus on that and just get a little bit better every game, so hopefully improve my overall play within a long period of time.
What is your recovery status after games and practices? How do you take care of yourself?
I try to stretch and roll and use the Theragun. I also have these Normatec leg sleeves that really help, and sometimes ice baths if I'm feeling extra sore from the game.
Throughout your career of soccer, because you've obviously played when you were young as well, is there a favorite moment you've ever had?
My favorite moment was I went to the Gothia Cup in Sweden just this summer, and we made it to the final round, the final game, and we were playing a team from Germany, and then we were winning 1-0, and then I came into the game and I scored a goal from about 20 yards away, and it was a really good goal, upper corner, and then just hearing the crowd, because we were playing in front of 20,000 people, so just hearing the crowd cheer and for our team, and that was amazing. And we also won the game, so we were world champs.
So we got a world champion here with us today, folks. How would you take the game that's in Europe and the game here, and what would be the best way to meld it together to make us better as Americans for the game?
I think that we as Americans are really good technically, but over in Europe they're really good tactically. They are really smart and they know what they're gonna do with the ball, and they play a really good style of soccer, and they're also really physical and aggressive. So I think if we add those two things to our really technical game, then we could be really good.
What is probably the most important thing you took out of all those games in Europe?
I think just playing at a faster pace, because they were really good, like I said, with the ball, knowing what they were gonna do. So I think I really need to improve my soccer IQ a little bit and just know what I'm gonna do and try to play faster mentally.
Pertaining to soccer, what do you do well?
I think since I play outside back, I think I do a really good job of also attacking as a defender, which creates a problem for the other team because usually defenders just stay back. But I like to attack and send crosses and shoot and create scoring chances for my team.
What would you do differently?
I think kind of defensive, tactically, knowing where to be at the right time to win the ball back after we lose it, and then working on my finishing from closer in.
Nice. And what do you need work on?
Things tactically, positioning myself throughout the game, and if the ball's on the other side, knowing where to be at the right time. But I'm working with my coach with that right now, so hopefully getting better at that.
As the captain, what is your role during practices and being on this team?
Just trying to make sure that everyone is focused while still of course having fun, but making sure that we're ready to go for the games, and then in the game making sure that everyone knows what they're doing and supporting them throughout the game if we're losing, winning, and just being there for the team.
And what is your relationship with do you have multiple coaches? Do you do club and stuff like that
Yeah.
as well? So what are the relationships with your coaches and how have they helped you in your soccer career?
All my coaches have been super helpful, and then starting back from my comp days, everyone's just been super supportive and really helpful to me, and that They really like helped with the recruiting process too, like reaching out to schools about me and emailing them, calling them. I think that was a big help and a big part of where I got to be where I am today.
How do you feel that you deal with trying to change the momentum of a game? So you can feel your team struggling. How do you feel like you bring them back?
Yeah, I think sometimes that can be pretty hard, but I try to just encourage my teammates and let them know that we're always in the game. No matter if we're losing, we can always come back and try to just bring up the energy level and lead by example and with my words.
How do you make the uncomfortable comfortable?
I think just like training when you're uncomfortable is really important because it's going to feel weird at first and it's going to be hard, but if you keep doing it over and over, eventually you'll get used to it and you'll become really good at it.
Heading over to Oregon, you're not really going to be the top dog anymore. How do you plan on what is your first step to working your way up in that roster?
I think the first step is just going in there and giving it all I got at practice and just showing the coaches and the team what I can do and being a great team player, a great teammate, and just getting to know the players and getting to know the system of how we play and just working as hard as I can to make an impact.
What are your goals over the next 4 years?
I want to make the Pac-12 all-conference team next year and then continue just to be an impact player for Oregon and hopefully just help the team win a lot of games in the Pac-12 and make the NCAA tournament.
Just a couple of little
Yeah.
bits.
Just a couple small ones. I love it.
You're finishing up your senior year of high school. So let's talk about a little bit off of soccer. What are some of the things that you're really hoping to experience off the field that are really important to you and also characterize who you are as a person?
I'm excited for like all the school events that we have at Woodcreek, like the rallies and all the dances and stuff. And I might go to the football games and they're really fun. I think I'm just trying to like do as much as I can at school to just take it all in for my senior year.
So when you have graduation day, you're walking across that podium, they had just announced your name, you're shaking hands. You see all of your classmates, and you already know where you're heading and everything. And a lot of people do, some people don't. But what's in your head? What's on your mind at that moment?
I think I'll be excited for the future, but also kind of sad because I like Woodcreek and I'm gonna like miss my friends and family and everyone I met at school, but also looking forward to the next step in going to Oregon.
What do you want to leave your legacy as a student and also a soccer player at Woodcreek High School? How do you want to leave the school better off as?
I just want to be like remembered as a hard worker and someone that was like there for anyone when they needed it, and someone just like to have fun.
How do you celebrate the victories, or do you allow yourself to celebrate the victories?
I get like happy after we win games and stuff, but then you gotta like get back to work, get back to practice because one victory doesn't really mean much. It's about like what you do next that'll make you good.
In losses, do you by any chance have an outline that you go through to make yourself better or to learn from not just your mistakes, but also the team's mistakes?
Yeah. So after losses, I try to just listen to what my coach has to say after the game because they'll tell us like what we did bad and what we did good and what we need to work on to get better. And then we film all of our games, so I'll go back and watch film and watch like myself individually and see what I need to work on, and then also watch the team and what we need to work on. And then practice the next week, we always talk about what we can do better at, and we kind of like try to get that into our style of game that week at practice.
Do you feel that when you're watching film, you're watching yourself to make yourself better? Which you just answered, I know. But are you also watching it to see what other ball players are doing to make yourself better?
Yeah, I'm doing both of those things because watching like your teammates or the other team's players, you can learn a lot from them too. So I think it's important to watch yourself, the team, and like everyone on the field.
Is there anything that you've caught and you went, oh my God, I didn't realize that I've done that?
Yeah, I think sometimes I can tell like I'm out of position. I was like, oh shoot, I should have done this. I should have shot the ball, passed it to this player. And it's easy to see that on film, but it's hard to see that on the field. So that's why watching the video is super important because you can learn a lot.
What is the biggest thing that you developed over your game from your freshman year to your senior year? What was the biggest change in your game?
I think I just got a lot more comfortable on the ball and taking players on 1v1, and like my technical skills like shooting, passing, crossing, all those things have improved a lot.
And did somebody like point that out to you, or was that something that you noticed yourself and drive yourself to do yourself, or was it both?
Both. I think I noticed it myself, and then my coaches and parents also helped me with that too.
What would you tell your 8U self right now?
I would just tell her like keep working hard and then keep loving the game, because loving the game is like the most important part. And if you don't love it, you're really not going to go that far, because you have to like really have passion with what you're doing to be great.
So you got a season coming up. What is the game that you're most excited about?
I'm excited for the game against Roseville, because that's also our senior night and our last league game, so that'll be a super fun game against our rivals, and hopefully we beat them again for the 4th year in a row.
Is there another player out there, by Roseville as well, but that you just love to match up with?
I wouldn't really say another player, but like I just like the whole team of Roseville. I think it's just really fun playing them, because it's always super competitive and super physical, and it's just a great rivalry game.
Who do you think you've learned the most from of all the competitors that you've played against?
I think we play this team called MVLA in club, and they have a bunch of like great players on their team. Like a bunch of them are going to top D1 schools and on the national team and stuff. So I think just playing against them has really helped me defensively, because they're super good at like attacking. So I think I learned how to like 1v1 defend a lot better while playing against them.
How about in college? What are you excited most about? Is there a rivalry in Pac-12 soccer that you're most excited to get involved in?
Yeah, I'm excited to play Oregon State, because that's our big rival up in Oregon. So I'm really excited to play them.